Well, thanks, guys. This summer, Mini becomes electric. The brand new Mini Countryman gets a plug-in, which will change the way we use this small British car.
Nick, we're stuck in a snowbank there. Luckily, we got the ALL4.
Stuck? Never.
Never.
Not with the Mini dynamic, fabulous ALL4 driving. So this is the new Countryman.
Yes, 2017, and we're in the Coupe S, which puts out, I believe, 189 horsepower and 201 pound-foot torque.
Absolutely, and all new, brand new vehicle from the ground up. In fact, they told us the only thing that was the same as the last one was the plastic little pieces in the middle of the wheel.
You believe that?
I'm sure there's a nut or a bolt that looks really similar, but when you look at them side by side, the first generation to the current generation, they do look very different.
Yeah, I was talking with one of the designers, and he was telling me about very subtleties that you see in this car. For instance, the lights are much more upright. This dashboard is much more upright. It's just a much more, bigger car. It's 8.1 inches longer.
They used a lot of the interior space in a better way. I look at the way the HVAC controls, and now their very first touch screen and navigation system in the center. So I think the space has been utilized a lot more. But then the capability as well. This is much bigger. It's the biggest Mini they've ever made. And the positive part is Americans want small SUVs. So this is poised to be a perfect entry into the market and to hopefully take some of the steam, let's say, out of the people that are dominating the segment.
Yeah, you know, this segment has been red hot, right? People love small crossovers. Mini has been in the space for a long time. My mom actually has a previous generation, and the biggest difference I saw right away getting in the car was that now, instead of having the silly round key that you have to put into the hole,
right,
you have a little start-stop switch that's placed very conveniently near the shift lever, so you don't have to try to kind of find the hole. I love that change. I also love the fact that we've got plenty of room. Look at the showroom here.
And I have very broad shoulders. I will just jump back to that. Just jump back to that start button. It's red and it's a toggle. I almost feel like it should be a arming of a missile rather than a start. Like I want to flick it and then just hit the steering wheel and fire.
Yeah, take out the Audi Q3, which competes with this. Maybe the Range Rover Evoque, which is another car that competes with it. Even to some extent, maybe like the new Crosstrek Super, right? On the low end, because this starts at about 26,000, and we were just in a product briefing, and the guy said that somebody ordered one for up to 43,000. So there's a huge range of Mini options and stuff you can get that really increases the price rather quickly.
I don't know about you, but me personally, I want all the options in the car, so I'd rather have a less expensive car and get all the extras.
Well, this one starts at a 31, and as tested, we're at 38.5. And ironically, or actually, in some ways, nicely, this sunroof is now standard. The panoramic sunroof. They've actually put a lot of thoughtful stuff into this Mini as standard.
It was interesting that they did have one on display that doesn't have a sunroof, and that technically is impossible, but you have to have it deleted during manufacture because some places don't want sunroofs, like Phoenix, for instance. You don't necessarily want a sunroof in your car. This is not what I would do as driving with a choice right here outside. It's fairly snowy. We're starting to see snow on the road. Here it's quite loud driving this car. That's probably my one down about the inside of the vehicle. There seems to be quite a lot of road noise on the inside. But we're in all-wheel drive, the Mini 4, and now they're saying this is fairly predictive, right? So it looks for key factors when you're driving to make sure that all-wheel drive is activated.
Yeah, once upon a time when you had these kind of front-wheel drive cars that would send power to the rear wheels, when the front wheels started to slid, it was like an eternity. You could actually, I remember my mom, again, had a Honda Civic wagon with that kind of a system, right? It was a viscous coupling, and you could have fun with it because you go around the turn, and the front wheels would start to slip in the snow, right? And it would send power to the rear wheels, and the wheel would all of a sudden come out on you. You could do like a really cool J-turn with it, which was not good for my mom, but a lot of fun for me when I was 16. And this system, really says, is brand new, an all-wheel drive system, and it anticipates the road conditions. So there should be no lag time between when the front tires start to slip and when the rear tires actually have power sent to them.
Now that's not necessarily a new thing. A lot of car companies are doing that right now, and it looks for cues in things that may indicate that it necessarily needs to put all 4 on. And those are usually things like road temperature, windshield wipers. If they're all activated, then what it'll do is kick in and actually allow that all 4 to engage early.
Yeah, so let's not wrap it around the tree and prove them wrong.
There's never any case in human history where actually wrapping it around a tree to prove anything is a good idea.
I agree. So everything is new, right? I mean, this is loosely based on the BMW X1 because, of course, BMW Group owns Mini. So we have 2 power plant options. We have the 3-cylinder turbo, and this is a 4-cylinder twin scroll turbo, so 2 scrolls in the turbocharger, which is good for low-end power and high-end power. And this time around, we're made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, but you can get the 6-speed manual. Mini's like the only car company that could actually, I think, does automatics and manuals throughout the entire lineup.
And I think one of the things that they've tried to project is their fun-to-drive, adventurous, challenger attitude that they have at Mini, while coupling it with quality, luxury, and lifestyle. And that's why they have the manual, because it's for those people that want the fun to drive, that want the dynamicism of driving, and yet can have all 4.
Yeah, they're saying that the take rate, basically the amount of the percentage that people will go for a manual is about 25% across the country. But if you're in Vermont, it's 80%.
Right, and that's really good because there are companies that have had the manuals who have just done nothing with them. For years, Acura fought to have manuals in their vehicles and just absolutely could not get any sales out of them, and were really forced to stop making them.
Yeah, it's a nine transmission. It's a shame because it's much more engaging. You have a lot more control of the car, but let's face it, a lot of people just don't know how to drive them, so it's much easier just to get in the car, put in, drive, and go. And especially with autonomous cars, right? We're getting so far away from kind of that really interactive driver experience. In terms of this car, Nick, what do you think of the new interior?
I really love it, and I love the fact that this interior comes now with expanded options. I'm seeing light-colored seats. They have the brown Chesterfield English oak. They have the, I think they're off-white color on the inside, and they also have the choice between material and leather. So you're getting a lot of choices, a lot of interesting and different material choices as well, and they're giving you all of those extras with a much more refined interior. I mean, the fact this is now touchscreen on the inside is great. I feel it's a little late to the party, but at least they're doing something.
Yeah, and you can change the colors, of course. And did you notice this little Easter egg that's hidden down here?
What's that?
The little tartan pattern.
Yeah.
That's kind of in that little shelf.
That's very Scottish of them.
It is very Scottish of them.
I still think so here's the positive of BMW owning Mini. Mini used to be at the bottom on the Consumer Reports quality every year. They used to be at the bottom of most people's quality reports. And they've really elevated the brand, so that now they're sitting right in the middle of the pack. So BMW have worked very hard about elevating the quality of the brand, long-term ownership, and when I say long-term, I mean like 3 years, less problems, easier to fix maintenance, and they also do like 36,000 miles of free maintenance, oil changes, and those type of things. At the same time, that has elevated the price of the cars. So now, my Mini was $42,000 MSRP. I have a Clubman, and that's expensive. I mean, you have to look at what you can buy for $42,000. So it's not what it used to be. The nurse's car, inexpensive way of transportation, inexpensive thing to own. These are definitely luxury cars now.
Yeah, but you still can get like a base Mini that is affordable. You can get those still under $20,000, I think, if you could just go for the manual transmission with none of the options. And that's cool that they still have cars that are kind of that nurse car that you're talking about.
Absolutely, and customizable as well. I mean, if you were to buy a base Mini, you could spend quite a lot of time as your income grew, as you had extra money over the years, adding things to that vehicle to make it much more acceptable for your lifestyle.
So why would you get this over a Clubman? You've got a Clubman.
It's a tough choice, and those are questions that we asked of Mini. The result comes back that it's really a lifestyle choice. So for my Clubman, it's a gentleman's car. It's a car that you would go to the farmer's market in, antiquing in it, perhaps out with the dogs. And this is much more of a car where you would go kayaking, skiing,
surfing. Put the skis, surfboard, kayak on the roof.
And even camping to this extent. I mean, someone who owns a Clubman would probably go to a hotel. someone owns this, might go camping, might have a tent on the roof. So this is more of an active lifestyle. Now let me ask you this question. So you live in Colorado.
Yes.
And you're now in my hometown,
Yes.
Portland, Oregon, or the surrounding area. What's the attractive things about Portland for you?
I love Portland. You know, I love the fact that you guys have some of the best scenery in the entire world. Right? We're right near Mount Hood. We're right near the mouth of the
Columbia and
river. Yeah, it's just such a beautiful area. And you've got up here in the mountains, you've got snow. Down in Portland, you've got
rain.
Well, rain. Yeah, yeah, you got rain.
It rains all year, right?
Yeah, and then, you know, I live in Boulder, and you know, it's called the People's Republic of Boulder. It's called kind of Portlandia, and so it's got kind of that same kind of social vibe going on. So is Mini popular in Portland?
Yeah, Mini has a huge community here. In fact, there are lots of Mini events. There's a very strong Mini club here. In fact, there are also, apart from having a Mini dealer here, there are 4 or 5 Mini mechanics who just specialize in fixing Minis.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, you know, this tends to be a lifestyle car. Portland is a lifestyle city, so maybe that's why they're doing the launch here, because it kind of feeds into that same kind of vibe. Now, we talked to Mini a lot with the product presentation, and they give us a whole range of ways that this car is better. What would be your number one kind of thing that you like about this car? We were going sideways there for a second.
It's we caught a little bit of snow, and I was trying not to overcorrect.
I was like, how many does this have? I think they said 8. I was like, which one's going to go up?
So the question is, would you buy one of these if you were in the market for a car this size?
Would I buy one of these? That's a really good question, Nick. You know, I think if it was a previous generation, I would have said no, because the key fob thing drove me bat,
Right.
went crazy. This one, yeah, I would consider it. This is one of the ones that I'd certainly look at. Would I buy it? I'd have to go see what kind of deals there are. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Well, you probably know a guy or two that can help you with deals, right?
Yeah, they probably do. But yeah, you know, my mom had one. Tommy, my son, had a 2007 Mini Cooper S convertible,
Right.
which we recently sold. That was a lot of fun. So you know, we're a Mini family. So there's a lot.
Good chance you might have one in the future.
Exactly. Yeah. She ain't up there yet. Do you have chains?
Only around my waist.
All right. Well, I think we've exhausted this topic, Nick.
Yes.
We are way off
And
script
we're
now.
done.
Thanks a lot, you guys.